look around the lake. Do you support the full effect idea for development? Please explain. Do you support the full effect idea for development?
I do support height limits around the lake. I actually brought the issue to the attention of our planning department that we did not have height limits, and that I felt that a lot of my constituents were very concerned about that. I'm not sure the full effect is the way I would go, because what I'm looking at first on is the uptown area, and what we're looking at there for zoning is that there would be unlimited height along the Broadway spine, but as you came closer to Broadway, and came closer to the lake, you would have more sensitive lower heights to be in harmony with the apartment district, and with the fact that we don't want to have shadows all across the lake so that we can have a presence longer on the lake. We also need to be sensitive about the heights around the old Oakland area. On the other side of the lake, we already have controls. It's quite low. I don't think it needs changes on the lakeshore side. And then there might be another development site near the 1200 Lakeshore building that might be a place for a tall building, and hopefully we can make a deal with the fellow who has the Shilling Garden site to build over there instead.
I wouldn't comment so much in the bowl effect, but I do think, particularly with development, in terms of our future as a city and where we need to go with development, we need to have smart green development in the city. And what that means is we need some taller buildings to go up near transit corridors. Why is it? Because we need to have businesses and businesses around transit corridors. We need to have development around transit corridors. And we need this because we need to get people out of their cars, and we need to have more people around transit. This is a green initiative. This is supported by the Green Belt Alliance and the Sierra Club, these type of initiatives which allow for taller buildings, but what are respectful and create open space for the environment so that we don't destroy our community, but we build it out. And what we also will do by bringing more people in, it gets back to the crime, is allows for more revenue to come into the city that we can then spend on police officers and some of the prevention areas that I'm most concerned with and that we talk about, that we can get people into housing. But this can only come if we are smart about our planning and smart about how we implement these measures. So in terms of the buildings and how they're allocated, I think that is something that we need to be concerned with around the transit is not necessarily a limitation. On the Broadway itself, I think that we need to look to whether buildings themselves can really stand and can really be developed, because digging down to Broadway gets you to BART, and so you can't necessarily build these taller buildings right on Broadway itself.
Let me repeat. I give you 30-second signal that you think I'm cutting you off. I don't want to do that. So, I don't want to interrupt, but
All right, thanks. The thing I'd add to the conversation on this issue is that obviously Lake Merritt is an asset. That this part of our city, when people come from other places to visit, they know the beauty of the lake. And so we got to be very careful about the overall development scheme here in the city. And I think part of what I've noticed over the years is that we tend to think about sections of the city as sort of standalone, isolated from the rest of the development. So whatever we do in terms of height limitations, there's got to be some coherence to it. We don't want a building on either side of the lake that's going to shadow the lake for significant parts of the day, because that part of Lake Merritt is what people enjoy. People like being in the sunshine, you like walking around at any time of the year. It's not like walking in downtown Manhattan, Chicago, someplace where you're close enough to downtown, you're close enough to transit, but you still got this natural gem in the middle of the city. I think we got to protect it. I know that for many of us, we want to make sure that we're doing smart growth. I was here in the 80s, and I remember when we built a lot of office space in downtown Oakland that was basically empty for a long time. We had a glut of office space. And what I'm noticing now is we're really building out a lot in terms of condos, and it makes me wonder, given the housing market, given the economy, are we going to actually fill up all that space? Or is it just going to be empty? And worse yet, the City Walk project, which has come to a grinding halt, and it's going to be an eyesore. You know, I remember passing that spot when it was basically a vacant lot, and 2 blocks over where the Shortstreet building was a hole in the ground. And now we got a sort of upright eyesore that we've got to figure out what we're going to do with. So the point is smart, coherent development, and adjustment and a revision to the city's master plan so that we think about development given our interest in sustainability and green building, given our interest in a balance between market rate and affordable housing, given our interest in having light industrial or actually 21st century industrial in the spaces that we have available to us. Part of what I said again is that I got 30 seconds, thank you, we're following instructions now. We've seen that when the City Council debated the industrial zoning piece a few weeks ago, it was done in isolation. It was done like, I'll protect mine, if you protect yours. I don't think that's good for the city. And as hard as it is to do a more coherent plan, where you get people, the 8 people on City Council to begin to agree about what makes sense, then we can go forward as a city. The way we operate now is that it's a very NIMBY-ish way, not in my backyard. You don't want this in my neighborhood, you don't want that in your neighborhood. There's not a real conversation about coherence. And I think that's going to require the